In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this really cute little caddy that can be used for all kinds of different things. So if you want to learn how I made it, well, then follow me. What's up, Glue Dots? I'm Elaine, the Midnight Crafter. The project I have for you today is using a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Some trash, some stuff from Michael's, some stuff from Dollar Tree. I mean, it's kind of a mishmash of stuff that turned out into a really cute little caddy that I'm super excited to show you how I made. Don't forget to check the description box for lots of great information, including entering a drawing for a really cute little bling owl keychain, and I do that drawing the first of every month, and also for the information on what items you'll need to complete this project. So if you want to see how I did it, well, hit that like button down there and we will get this party started. Okay, so initially to get started, you can either start with the spray painting part, but I'm choosing to start with the base first, and I'm going to use my Tumbling Tower blocks from, Tumbling Tower game from Dollar Tree. And it just so happened I had these left over from it. They don't have to be all brown, use whatever you want. And we're going to be gluing together 2 rows of 11, and I'm gluing them together long sides together because it's going to have a little more stability and strength for when we have our other part put on top. And for this, I'm going to be using my wood glue, the Gorilla wood glue. This stuff is great, you guys. And the other thing is just a little added tip. You can use whatever you want or nothing at all, but I love parchment paper. So those of you who have been watching me for a while know that I love parchment paper because nothing sticks to it, and it just makes it so much easier than having your project stuck down to your table. Now for me, I find it easier to just put a little bit of glue across on one side, touch the two together because you don't need a whole lot of glue for this, and then just with the glue that's left on there, attach, so you can kind of glue 2 at a time together. I'm going to leave a link down below for this Gorilla wood glue if you're interested in getting some as well. You do also want to make sure these are lined up as straight as possible before they dry, because you're going to need them to hold up the piece later on, which you'll see when we get to that. So while we're waiting on these pieces to dry here, we're going to take our little sign, flip it over, and we're going to be measuring across so that we can eliminate the curved part here. We just want a straight line across to where this is straight. So measure up from the bottom, wherever that falls for you. I don't know if it'll be an exact measurement. And leave a little mark and do the same all the way across so that you know where to line it up so you can cut, basic measuring stuff. And then we're going to be scoring this straight across where we made our marks. And I'm using my box cutter for this. And you don't have to press super hard, just be consistent and keep going over the same line and score this. And what we're going to do as soon as we get this scored is we're going to be snapping it off so we have just this straight piece going across on the bottom here. I'm starting to feel it a little bit come through here, which is perfect. So I'm going to keep going a little bit more. And then, as you can see, it will just snap right off easily. So now we have our good clean surface here, and you can use a little bit of sandpaper just to kind of clean up this top edge. This part is not going to show, so don't worry too much about it. It's just that we want it to be an even and straight line. Okay, next what I'm going to be doing is painting this piece and my cans, which I've removed all the labels from them. And I don't know if you guys have a can opener that opens this way to where it doesn't leave a sharp edge here, but I love my can opener. It's a Pampered Chef one, and I think I can leave you a link maybe for where to find one of those. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I am using this Americana Decor chalk paint, and this is in the color Whisper. And the only reason I'm using this is because I had it in my stash. I think I had gotten it at a thrift store one time in their craft section. So craft in my stash here, and I know a lot of people use Waverly paints, but this is what I had on hand. Chalk paint dries pretty quick, so if you prefer to chalk paint, you can do that. If you prefer spray painting, which is typically what I do, then you can also do that. One of the beauties of using chalk paint, aside from the fact that it dries really quickly, is that it also gives you a little more texture. So a benefit of that is that you don't have, like sometimes you have a little bit of the spots where the glue didn't come off from the label on your can. You can just paint right over that and it won't show. Or in the case of my little stand here, I didn't even bother to take the sticker off. Now I'm going to be leaving this a little more. I want these cans to have kind of a more of an unfinished rustic look, so I'm not painting them, you know, like 2 coats and making them really solid white or off-white or whatever. With spray paint, it's a much smoother finish, so you are going to get all the little imperfections showing through. So it's up to you, kind of the end result that you want. The base I will be giving 2 coats on, but the cans I do want to have them have kind of that a little more rustic, unfinished look. So I'm going for my second coat here on this piece. It's not quite dry yet, so I'm going to use my heat tool to help dry that. You can use a blow dryer. These heat tools get a lot hotter, and I'll leave a link for this down below too. It's a great little tool to help you speed up in your crafting. We're also going to be painting these little tower blocks that we glued together as well, so everything's going to get a nice coat of our paint. And on these tumbling tower blocks that you glued, this is actually going to be our base, so you don't have to worry about painting the underneath side, just paint the sides and the surface part. By now your cans should be pretty much dry if you use chalk paint. So we're going to use our whatever you have. So I normally would use the twine from Dollar Tree. I am out of it, and because I'm crafting my stash, I did have this. I think I got this maybe at Walmart, not sure, but we're going to take this and we're going to use a combination for overall for this project. We're going to be using a combination of E6000 and our hot glue. So for this right now, to get it started, I'm going to just take and wrap my twine around my can. I'm going to glue this on the back side so it won't show. And I'm just going to wrap a few times around. Now you don't have to glue every single spot on this, but you know, just maybe a couple spots along the way to hold the twine in place. Now the nice thing with the Dollar Tree twine is that it can kind of, you can sort of overlap it on itself and sort of give it a little more of a freestyle. This one's a bit thick. I mean, I can kind of do that, but anyway, just use what you've got. At the back side, you do want to make sure that it is flat though, because that's what's going to be attaching to our backing. And do that to each one of your cans. And then I have gotten these little flowers from Michael's, and I also had these in my stash from a long time ago. There are tons of flowers in here, and so many really cute. Some are patterned and some are, like this is really cute. Some are just solid colors. There's all different colors, so depending on what you want, figure out what kind of colors you want to put together and what you like, and find the front side of your can and add your little floral embellishments. If you want to add some buttons on there, kind of make it your own and do whatever you think you're going to like on there. If you're enjoying my channel, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button so you can join our Glue Dot family too. Now I'm going to take my lids, and there's any number of options you could use to make little handles for your lids. Just for the sake of keeping this low cost, I already have my little tumbling tower set, so I'm just going to use these and I'm going to glue them upright, just like this, onto one on each of my can lids. Now if you decide, you can even stack them sort of in a pyramid shape, like this, if you want to put that on there and make that into a little handle, whatever you decide you want to do. And in order to do that, I'm actually going to be using my E6000 and my hot glue, because I feel like the E6000 is just going to give a better hold for the long term. So, and the hot glue is going to hold it on right now while we're waiting for this to dry. I'm just going to center that. Oopsie, I put it down the wrong way. Well, there you have it. I put the glue on the wrong sides. I was going to make it upright, but I laid it down that way. Oh well. So anyway, I guess now I'm going to be consistent and do the same thing on the other ones. But then after we do this, we're going to be putting together the base. So for the base, we now have our two pieces here, and we have this piece, and I've painted the whole thing, all sides, and we're going to be putting this, sandwiching it in between these two bottom pieces that we made and gluing those in. And for that also, I'm actually going to use wood glue, E6000, and my hot glue. I don't know if you need all of that, but I just want to be extra sure that this is going to hold up. So that's what I'm going to do. And making sure this bottom part holds up is really important, because though the cans will be kind of suspended, they are going to be using this base as a little bit of extra support. So you do want to make sure that your cans don't fall when they're full of stuff. So we're going to give this a little bit of extra help. And line it up with your piece there and press it down. And the reason I did one first is because I don't want my hot glue to cool before I can get that to set in place. And now I'm going to do the second piece. And then I'll be sandwiching this center between the two. So now what used to be the original base of our decorative piece is now the top and the handle, and we've created our own base. And so now while we're waiting for this to dry, I'm going to be adding a handle using my twine or nautical rope or whatever it is that you're using. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to make like a figure 8 shape with the twine or rope, matching up your both sides. And you do want to make sure that these are going to fit on like that. So this is what's going to be making our handle. So if you need to do it on here to make sure that it fits, you can do that. Okay, so we're making our figure 8 here, and we're going to be gluing the rope on itself. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Now we're going to hide this little junction by wrapping it again with our rope here. So start on the side there and just go around covering up that junction. Make sure you still keep your handle sides even when you do this, because you don't want one to end up smaller than the other. And then just glue that on the back and cut off the excess. Add a little bit of glue so that this cut edge doesn't fray. And I like to use my parchment paper, again, how much I love this stuff, to press down and kind of hold that. Sometimes with the scissors, it sticks to the scissors or it sticks to your finger and you get burned. Not that you won't get burned through the paper, you do need to still be careful, but at least the paper you can kind of press it down and then unstick. And here we have our handle. The handle we are going to glue in place. I mean, you don't have to, but it may slide off. So you do probably want to add a little bit of glue underneath here just to make sure that it doesn't slide. Okay, now we're going to take our cans and start adding those on. And we're going to, this is why I told you keep one section of the, like you can crisscross the heck out of the front, but keep that back flat, because now we're going to be attaching our cans directly onto this backing. Space them properly on here because you're going to be gluing those down. And once you know where you want them in place, we're going to add hot glue and some E6000. Give it all you got on this, because you do want this to really stay put and stay in place. Make sure you find that center back, whatever that is going to be for you on yours, and then just attach it directly onto the backing. I'm going to do that with all 4 of them. Have you guys subscribed yet, or have you hit that like button? Let me know what you think of this project. I think it's pretty fun and it's pretty cool, and it's definitely very useful.